Ancient Wonders, the Library of Alexandria's Lost Knowledge Introduction. In the heart of ancient Egypt, on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, stood a structure that would come to symbolize the pursuit of knowledge for generations to come. It was not a palace, it was not a fortress. It was something far more powerful, a library, the Library of Alexandria. This wasn't merely a building filled with scrolls and books. It was a dream carved into marble and wood, where the knowledge of all the known world converged. But its fate was as dramatic as its vision. Today, it is known not for what it preserved, but for what it lost. This is the story of one of humanity's greatest creations and its tragic disappearance. This is the story of the Library of Alexandria and its lost knowledge, a vision born in fire and sand. The story begins around 300 BCE in the bustling, cosmopolitan city of Alexandria, Egypt. Founded by Alexander the Great, the city quickly grew into a beacon of culture, commerce, and science. After Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy Isoter took control of Egypt and sought to fulfill his former commander's vision. Ptolemy had a bold idea. He dreamed of building a library that would house every written work in existence, a place where scholars could gather, learn, debate, and document everything the human mind could imagine. The Ptolemies, especially Ptolemy II, poured resources into this endeavor. They sent envoys across the ancient world to collect scrolls and manuscripts from Greece, Persia, India, Egypt, and beyond. Ships arriving at Alexandria's harbor were searched, and any scrolls they carried were taken, copied, and returned. The originals were kept in the library. The goal was simple, yet audacious, to collect all the knowledge of the world under one roof. A haven for genius, the Library of Alexandria was not just a storehouse, it was a think tank. It stood beside the Mauseon, a temple dedicated to the Muses, the goddesses of inspiration in the arts and sciences. Together, they formed a kind of ancient university, attracting the greatest minds of the era. Famous thinkers like Euclid, the father of geometry, and Archimedes, the master of engineering, spent time in Alexandria. Medical pioneers like Herophilos dissected human bodies and made discoveries about the nervous system centuries ahead of their time. Astronomers like Eratosthenes measured the Earth's circumference with surprising accuracy using nothing but shadows and sticks. The scholars in Alexandria were encouraged to think freely, to challenge one another, and to explore every field of human inquiry. Philosophy, mathematics, medicine, astronomy, literature, history. No discipline was too obscure. The library grew rapidly. At its peak, some say it housed between 400,000 to 700,000 scrolls, though no one knows the exact number. The knowledge it held. What kinds of works filled the library's endless shelves? Imagine texts from lost civilizations, Babylonian star charts, Egyptian medicine manuals, Indian mathematical treatises, Persian philosophies, and the complete works of Greek tragedians and poets, some of which are now lost forever. Among these were likely early theories of evolution, models of the solar system, surgical techniques centuries ahead of their time, and epic poems we'll never hear recited again. Some scholars speculate the library may have contained the blueprints of ancient machines that rival modern inventions. Others wonder if the keys to forgotten languages or the original works of Homer were once kept within its walls. It is said that Callimachus, a librarian and scholar, compiled a massive catalog of the library's contents, possibly over 120 volumes long, but even this catalog has vanished. The true extent of the knowledge stored in Alexandria is impossible to measure because so little of it survived, a series of fires. So, what happened to this vast treasure of knowledge? How could such a powerful institution vanish? The answer is complicated. The fall of the Library of Alexandria wasn't a single catastrophic event. Rather, it was a slow death, caused by wars, fires, politics, and neglect. One of the earliest suspected blows came in 48 BCE, during Julius Caesar's campaign in Alexandria. As his troops fought the Egyptian navy, Caesar reportedly ordered ships in the harbor to be burned. The fire spread, possibly reaching parts of the library or its storage buildings. It's unclear how much was destroyed, but some scrolls were certainly lost. Later, during the reign of Emperor Aurelian in the 3rd century CE, Alexandria again became a battlefield. Parts of the city were destroyed, possibly including parts of the library. In the 4th century, the Roman Empire embraced Christianity, and many pagan temples and institutions came under threat. The Serapeum, a temple that may have housed part of the library's collection, was destroyed by a Christian mob in 391 CE under orders from Emperor Theodosius I, and finally, in 640 CE, during the Muslim conquest of Egypt. Some sources claim that the remaining scrolls were destroyed, though this account is debated by historians. In truth, the library didn't burn once. It died by 1,000 cuts each war, regime change, and active negligence taking more of it away. Legends, myths, and possibilities. The mystery surrounding the library's destruction has become part of its legend. Some imagine a single towering inferno consuming every scroll in one night. Others believe a secret chamber of scrolls still lies buried beneath the streets of modern Alexandria. Some even claim that fragments of the library's collection may have survived in distant parts of the world in monasteries, private collections, or buried in desert sands, waiting to be rediscovered. But perhaps the greatest myth is that the knowledge of the ancient world was lost forever. In reality, some of it survived, passed down through Islamic scholars, preserved in copies by early Christian monks, or rediscovered during the Renaissance. But how much more could we have known if the library had endured? What if humanity had never lost centuries of scientific progress? Would the Industrial Revolution have happened 1,000 years earlier? Could we have cured diseases in the Middle Ages? Could we have reached the stars by now? The legacy that remains, though the physical structure is gone. The idea of the Library of Alexandria continues to inspire. In 2002, Egypt opened the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a modern library built near the site of the original. It serves as a tribute to the ancient institution and a reminder of the importance of preserving knowledge. Across the world, libraries, universities, and digital archives carry forward the same mission to collect, protect, and share knowledge freely. The Library of Alexandria taught us a lesson that echoes through time. Knowledge is fragile. It must be guarded not just from fire, but from censorship, war, and indifference. What if IT never fell? Let us indulge in a brief thought experiment. Imagine a world where the Library of Alexandria survived intact. Imagine if it expanded, adapting through the rise of Islam, the Renaissance, and the Age of Enlightenment. Perhaps Alexandria would have become the intellectual capital of the world. Perhaps ancient scholars would have laid the groundwork for modern chemistry, biology, and physics long before the scientific method became formalized. We might have invented the telescope 1,000 years earlier. We might have discovered electricity before the fall of Rome. We might be a spacefaring species now not dreaming of other worlds, but living among the stars. Of course, we'll never know for sure, but the dream lives on. Because the Library of Alexandria, in all its grandeur, wasn't just a place. It was an idea that knowledge belongs to everyone, and that learning is the highest calling of civilization. A candle in the darkness, the loss of the Library of Alexandria is often called one of the greatest tragedies in human history. Not because of the scrolls that turned to ash, but because of the possibilities that vanished with them.